Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Lee Anthony Taylor, and welcome to this latest edition of Energy Matters with Lee. Now, we're going to do an interview. I'm going to show you an interview in a short while with one of my good friends in the reflexology world. Now, if you're coming here by accident, bearing in mind that there's no such thing as accidents, but welcome to Energy Matters with Lee. What we do on this channel is we talk about all aspects of energy medicine. My speciality is reflexology. I've been in the business now for 30 years. And in that time, I've seen how reflexology has grown as an idea and become a bigger part of people's lives, which is a great thing. We've got lots more work to do, obviously, but energy medicine as a whole has been elevated to a different kind of status, I feel, in the last 30 years. And obviously, part of my job, my mission, is to promote that and to keep that idea going for as many years as I'm around for. This latest episode, like I say, is with one of my good colleagues. I'm going to introduce her in a moment. And we talk about the idea of universal truths. Now, originally, I was going to call this channel Universal Truths, but the thing about Universal Truths is it can be misinterpreted as very subjective because what's one truth for one person might not be true for another person. And so the overall message I was trying to get across was above all those different attitudes and ideas we have is one source that everything comes from. Okay, so in this interview, we do mention that very briefly. I went on to change it to Energy Matters with Lee because it's a more encompassing thing to do with energy medicine. Okay, sit back, enjoy this latest offering that I've got for you. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, get your notifications. And yeah, look forward to seeing you on a future issue of Energy Matters with Lee. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, welcome. I have a very special guest with me on this occasion, none other than Christine Issel, and she's joining me from San Francisco, is that right?
Near San Francisco, yes.
Near San Francisco. That's wonderful. Place that I've been to once and never forgotten. It's a beautiful place, and I'm yearning to go back there. Um, so Chris, thank you so much for joining. And what I wanted to do was to start off, as I do with all of these sessions, by talking about how you first got into reflexology. And I know you've got an interesting story to tell us there.
Well, you want the long version or the short version?
Well, give us the version. The
Well,
version.
uh, I had a series of UTIs and spent a year with a doctor, and he decided that my problem was built up scar tissue, and he wanted to operate. And I mean, I'm in my early 20s, and I said, won't I have one big scar if you operate? And he said, oh, yes, but not a bunch of little tiny ones. I thought, well, that didn't make any sense to me. And of course, as spirit works or the universe works, there was someone in my life who was going to a reflexologist. She knew I bought most of our food at the health shop. And so she asked me to pick up a book on reflexology the next time I shopped, which I did. And it happened to be Eunice's Stories the Feet Have Told of
Okay.
Canada. And of course, me being the critical thinker that I am, I had read the book because it was just tiny, before I gave it to her.
Yeah.
And so my thought was, oh my goodness, does the American Medical Association know the claims this woman is making? you know,
Oh,
and my second thought was, if it can do half of what she says, I'm going to be impressed.
okay.
So on the lark, I booked an appointment, and I went, and I was amazed at how I felt afterwards. And I'll just say, I never had another UTI for over 25 years.
Wow. Well,
But
what was the current thinking with reflexology at the time then? I mean, you mentioned about picking up a book. What was it like at the time?
oh, it wasn't known. It
Hmm.
wasn't, and you couldn't have gone to, well, there was no Amazon, and you couldn't have gone to a regular bookstore and found anything on reflexology. The person I was going to was her certificate said zone therapy on it, but
Right,
she had studied with Eunice,
right.
and soon I got my kids going too, and my husband going, and then we moved out of California to Colorado, and
Yeah,
I didn't know anybody who was practicing reflexology. So I thought, I need to learn this just to keep my family well.
right,
That
right.
was my whole motivating factor, and the rest is history. What can I say?
And that was in the 1970s, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Now, your book, the art and science of reflexology, which I've got in front of me here, which has been a staple throughout my time as a reflexologist as well, has been a real inspiration to a lot of other people I know in terms of putting a context on our amazing therapy.
Right.
And what do you think the current perception is of reflexology right at the moment then? How do you think we're doing right now compared to maybe when you first trained?
Well, I don't think it's deserved the credit that it gets.
Yeah,
And I'm in favor. First of all, there's, at least I've isolated at least 9 different ways to practice or levels to practice on reflexology. And so it just depends on how you choose to practice. I would, uh, there's no right way to
sure,
practice
sure.
reflexology. And it's really what the practitioner brings.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that
There's that
that
extra element, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah, and that dynamic that goes on between the practitioner and the client is where the healing takes place.
right, right. Gotcha. Yeah. So now my channel's called Universal Truths, and it's called that for a reason, because it's about really those things which can hold true for anybody, regardless of whatever your background is. And really, the first part of the question is, would you agree that the healing modality of reflexology can transcend all the barriers that we put in the way, all the cultural beliefs, or all the other things that maybe sort of get in the way of it? Is it possible for us to do that?
I think for reflexology, absolutely. Um, the problem that I have with universal truth, please, is that to me, you have to put truth in context. And it depends on, your religion, your culture. It depends on you as an individual person. And what's acceptable in one country would not be necessarily accepted in another. So
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant about saying universal truths.
So, but is there, above all of those, is there one essential way, if you like, that everything adheres to, especially energy and consciousness, which I know is your big thing at the moment? If we're all part of the same thing, surely everything must stem from that one source.
Well, you were right when you said we get in the way, but yes,
Yeah,
you know, we are one on a spiritual level. Definitely, we're one, and or consciousness, however you want to express it.
yeah.
So, and yes, I think reflexology does transcend that. But again, it depends on where the individual is in their own journey.
Yeah, yeah. Which brings me to the second part of that, which is, do you have to believe in reflexology in order for it to work?
No, no. And the reading I've done, and going back to quantum physics, non-local healing does take place. I mean, that's proven
Hmm.
that the recipient doesn't need to know that it's even being done,
Yeah,
that it's effective. But of course, the intention of the practitioner or the giver does play a part in the overall scheme of things.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Which leads me on to my final question, which is a really good question as well, which is about the idea of where do you think reflexology is evolving? Because you've talked about quantum physics and you've talked about the consciousness aspect, if you like. Do you see that that is coming more and more into our work? Is it going to become more of a prominent part of our work?
You're asking the wrong person
Oh, no, no.
because I believe that strongly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that there's um but the important thing is, yeah, above that, I think most practitioners, and myself included, want to see our clients healthy
yeah,
and happy.
yeah.
But that's not for us to really decide. That's for the
Sure,
client's
sure.
journey. So um, now I've lost my train of thought.
Okay, so the idea obviously is that we were saying about not having to believe in it in order for it to be effective.
But you were asking about the future.
Yeah,
Uh, Again, with my thoughts about the 9 levels to practice
yeah,
uh, reflexology, that would indicate the educational level that the person needs. And so, again, it's an internal thing because you have to decide. I prefer to work in the stress reduction and the energy model.
yeah,
And I don't care about the medical model. That does not,
yeah, yeah,
um, because I know it works.
yeah,
And I'm not trying to convince conventional medicine that it works.
yeah,
You know, I,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So do we need to educate the public more then to get them up to a
oh,
certain level,
yeah,
if you like, of consciousness so that it
yeah,
can have more of a hold on them?
yeah. Because when I started, it was basically unknown years and years ago. And it's not that well known by the public.
Yeah,
Um, I feel that all of our associations need to do public relations campaign
yeah,
and not to the public, not to us reflexologists.
right.
We need to get it out to the public and make it credible. And I think there's enough scientific studies to indicate that it works
Yeah,
or it. So depending, for those all those people with the science, then we have studies to back it up. And that's one of the reasons for the book is art is who we are and the history, obviously, and science.
yeah,
That that's important.
yeah, yeah.
I that that would create a credible profession at some point.
And that's it. It's about the credibility, isn't it? Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah,
I would see in the future, my dream is to see reflexology as a 2-year college course with emphasis on one of the 9 levels that they
yeah,
want to practice on. And, through that, if we could get it into the universities, we would certainly be building credibility.
yeah.
But
Wonderful. What a
it's
lovely thought to end on. It's a lovely
what?
dream to have, isn't it? It's a lovely thought to end on. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Chris. And keep going with your writing. I know there's plenty more to come out with the writing as well, and we look forward to that. Okay.
Well, thank you, Lee. I appreciate the opportunity to converse with you.
All right. Lovely to speak to you. Thank you, Chris.